All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:49, so it's a little earlier than I usually get on. But I have these overnight setups that I wanted to show you. Green, almost 2,000 on oil, and it's in a short right now. And then we've been in this short for NQ since about 8 a.m., 8:10, so almost an hour. It got down to about 600, really close to the target, but we haven't hit it yet. So the target is $1,000. We will see what happens. But yeah, it is Tuesday, May 17th. Yesterday was kind of all over the place. I started recording in the afternoon, no joke, at like 2 p.m.
Target filled.
And then it wasn't worth it. So oil just hit target again. So oil is now green 1,300. Pretty easy setup there that we've been playing with. Very like small target, small loss kind of thing. And I really like it. So I like it. All right, so we'll see what happens here with NQ. Also, I was thinking overnight, you could easily do this in a micro setup. So if there's a loss, sometimes it can be small like this, like maybe $200, $300 on a mini. Sometimes it can be larger. The biggest loss this year on this setup was $3,000 for one mini. That was probably during the super volatile times. But even so, you want to be like abreast to that and then be able to decide what you want to do off of that information. I'm a huge believer in understanding your biggest risk and then choosing, like making decisions from there, not based off of the biggest win or the biggest, uptrend or whatever. Like you need to see the risk and say, okay, am I comfortable with this, and is my account able to, handle this type of a loss and then continue trading on all this stuff. So obviously that's a pretty big loss, but I think it happened like once. The average loss is probably around 500 to 1,000. Like even last week, still pretty volatile. Friday was 100% green. It had like 5 trades and it hit target on all 5. But I think like Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, it had a loss, and one was 1,000, one was 700, and the other was 100. So I think for the whole week there were like 3 losses last week, and those were the values. But just to be aware of what like the worst kind of situation could be, and then make your decision from there. So if that's the case, you could still easily trade a micro. So if you really wanted to run this setup and you thought it would be great for, the potential, your account, whatever, you could just run a micro. And what that would mean is just you're a tenth, everything would be a tenth, like divided by 10. It'd be a smaller. So if you want to, a mini is 10 times the size of a micro in terms of cost and then in terms of profit or loss. So right now, showing that I have realized 1,500 on the day, another 300 in play right now unrealized, that would be around 1,800. So that's for one mini. So for one micro, you would be green around $180 on the day. So, just move the decimal place essentially. So $180 is still great for one micro. And then if somebody was doing 2 micros, obviously that would be double the amount. Now, again, you would want to think about that biggest loss scenario, which was $300. And I can find out when that was. It was probably like February when the war stuff first started being talked about. But yeah, so I'm going to look into that. And I can report back. I pulled it yesterday and I just kind of forget. You can see now we're green 560, 600 on this short. Let's see if it can drop going into 9 a.m. here and hit the $1,000 target. But yeah, so even with, one micro, that biggest loss for the whole year would have been $300. And most people can handle a $300 loss, even if they have a smaller account, and that's kind of like a one-off. A normal setup would be $100 loss or a $50 loss, and that's definitely manageable. So this is something I'm going to share with my team, and I'm going to let them start running. even if they just want to run it in simulation, that's fine. But if they're ready to go live, I think this is something that I'm comfortable with. Again, on Friday, it did so well. And I was running it overnight, and it seems pretty good. We might still need some volume or volatility, some type of news to feel comfortable running it overnight. But if there's not a lot going on, you're not going to have big losses. It's really only if there's some huge news that comes in. Like you can see here, we had a really big move up, but we were obviously long. And then it hit target right away, which is that $1,000. So oil is now in a long. So yeah, so I'll check back in a bit when we have some more trades going on. It's only 8:55, already up, you know, at this point, 2,330, like 3,300, 3,400 on the day. You know, you could be done right now and be like, okay, I'm done for the day. It's 9 a.m. I don't have to worry about anything else. Like, that's a great day. All right, it is now 9:15. I just wanted to give a bit of an update. So the NQ trade that was running right here, that ended up closing out essentially at break even. It was green at one point around $600, but you know, I'm letting the algo do its thing. The target is 1,000. If at some point I want to change the target to 750 or 500 or 600, I could do that. But it's at 1,000. It hit 1,000 a few times overnight, so I'm not going to change it right now. We will most likely get a long trade at the open. And something else I wanted to show you, if you see this balance here, so you can see that 1,500 stayed the same for NQ.
Order submitted.
Because it closed flat. Now, oil is what I wanted to show you. All right, so as I was saying, oil has been killing it since I logged off before at like 8:45. It's now at 1,800. I think it was at 1,300 around 8:50. So, you know, it hasn't even been a half an hour. We're now at 1850. Just took another trade and hit target. So, really smooth here on oil. Let me show you the breakdown. All right, so this is the breakdown of the trades so far. It's been on since last night. It has taken 64 trades, so that's quite a large amount. But for the type of scalping that we're doing here, it kind of has to be warranted. 51% win rate, that's fine. The largest losing trade was $180. I can totally work with that. The average losing trade was $100. And the total net profit is $1,850. So I'm good with that. This is essentially just a scalping setup, and it's doing really well. So $2,000 on one mini. If you had a micro, it would be half of this, because what I said before about a tenth is only for most of the other products. But oil likes to be difficult, so... Oh no, well, MCL is now a tenth, but they used to have another micro oil, QM, and QM is 50%. So QM
order submitted
would have been, let me not confuse you with that. MCL would have been a tenth. So you'd be green $185 if you were doing micros on MCL. So, all right, let's see how the day continues on. All right, this move is happening.
Order canceled.
So NQ at the open, right before the open, pushed up a bit, pulled back, and now it's really pushing through. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Target is at 12,534. We'll see if we can get there.
Order submitted.
There are other orders happening in the background. So oil, ES. Let's see if we can get up to this 12,534. We're at 12,515 right now for about $600. Let's see. See if we can move up and hit this target. It'd be $1,000, and then we'd be at 2,500 for the day. See this P&L right here.
Order submitted.
Again, this setup uses a target, but it has a coded stop.
Order
and
canceled.
It does not have a trail. I feel like the trails get hit too often, so I want to let NQ do its thing, and that's what it's kind of doing here. I was just about to open my TD Ameritrade so that I can check out SPX for today. Again, I started kind of turning bullish on Friday.
Order canceled.
So I don't mind seeing some pullbacks, but I really like to see the continuation move up, see if we can get back
Order
into the
submitted.
13,000s, 14,000s, and 15s would be great, like really great. Go, moving up, moving up. We got to 25. What did I say? 25 is a psychological
canceled.
level. That's the word I was looking for. Oil still doing well.
Order submitted.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're so close. It got to 29. Come on, you can do it. Good. If we push over 29 again, we'll definitely get to 34.
Target filled.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oil's now at 1800. In real life, I would probably know that 25 psychological, and I might have moved it down a little bit, honestly. Here we go, 31. I saw 31 print. That's a good sign.
Order submitted.
So close. There we go, 32.
Target filled.
Nice. Target hit on both of those. Awesome, awesome, awesome.